Hey Leute und willkommen zurück zu Danganronpa. Wir gehen in den nächsten Strafprozess. We have no choice, right? We have to do this. Yes. He gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. Couldn't stop speculating. Aber das Gute ist, dass wir nicht mehr verdächtigt werden, gerade. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds, deeper and deeper into the ground. Da wird es deutlich einfacher, unsere Unschuld zu beweisen. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until, finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good. You're rip-raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well?
Okay, then let's get the show on the road.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly class trial. Ja. Okay, hier haben wir halt nochmal unsere Sachen, ja. Increase the influence gauge by 2, effective during the class trial. Was haben wir noch? Sonst haben wir nix, oder? Ah, doch, hier. Increase damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed, effective during the bullet time battle. Ja, was war nochmal das Bullet time battle? War ja gar nicht so schwierig, ne? Wir können es trotzdem activating. Aber wer weiß halt, ob es drankommt. Das war ja nur bei dem einen jetzt gerade, bei Leon. Weiß nicht, ob es bei dem nächsten Killer auch so ist, aber wir können es mal machen.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First we have to make clear that what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Das war die Hantel.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Das stimmt.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting.
Daneben.
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Ah, ich habe daneben geschossen. To be at the scene of the crime, there was something with a bloodstain on it. Ich weiß schon, was es war. Es war nur, dass es daneben gegangen ist.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
looked at her head wound?
Ja, muss sie ja.
Yes! That's so creepy!
Warum? Musst du doch.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Ja, Genocide Jack.
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did you really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Oh god, yeah. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Okay, the truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. Oh, Hilfe. Jetzt kommen so weiße Buchstaben oder irgendwas, so weiße Linien. Und die blocken quasi diese Kugel ab. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the X button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. Ja, okay, ich hab's ja nicht auf gentle, ich hab's ja auf mean, oder was hab ich? Ich hab's auf jeden Fall auf normal, ich glaube gentle ist einfach, in which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun. Make your argument. Genocide Jack case file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Nein! Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
Ja, toll. Blöde Linien. The thing Yakuza show me in your file. Ja.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
Achso, ich muss einfach nur X bei dem drücken.
Impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on!
Das muss er auch
There's just
abschließen.
no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
Und man darf halt nicht die Dinger mit dem X treffen.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Ja, wieso da hängt er? Wie sage ich das? Every characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know. If I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the position of the body. How the victim was positioned.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
Okay, das war zum Glück gleich zu beantworten. Ja, ich werde erstmal wieder speichern. Ja. Ich dachte, jetzt kommt irgendwas wieder, das sind Wörter, irgendwie Buchstaben oder dann doch den Beweis zeigen. Da wäre ich mir nämlich nicht sicher gewesen.
Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Oh.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie! What?
Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko, eine gespaltene Persönlichkeit. Aber was heißt das auf Englisch? The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Ja, aber... Ja Gott, frag mich nicht, wie man das schreibt auf Englisch. Hangman's Gambit. Shizu? Was mache ich? Ich bin echt doof. Ach komm, ja, ich brauch F. C. I, Z, Z. Und O. Shizu.
Now I understand.
Okay. Ja, Shizu ist irgendwie, ja. Okay.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Ja.
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Ja, und es ist eigentlich ziemlich einfach, sogar das Wort herauszufinden, wenn du so einen falschen Buchstabe reinmachst, dann ist es sowieso schon mal falsch. Also.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
Stimmt, erstmal ist sie in Ohnmacht gefallen und danach war die total geil drauf. The one thing that shows Toko could have a split, she arrived late, her behavior changed.
You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine, I'm fine. Wow, is that a dead body? Hey, you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top inning and a bottom, and a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in.
Damit sie nicht rauskommt.
It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. Oh, also hat sie jemand umgebracht, aber nicht Chihiro, oder? But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... Oh, 9.
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Genocide chill?
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know.
Ich werde speichern.
Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack. This is beyond insanity.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid! And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death.
Das glaube ich nicht.
There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
Ach so.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion. Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth!
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah! I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
Maybe. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Oh good. Make your argument. Status of the dead body, okay. Wie sie da hängt.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Das ist falsch. Eine Schere.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that, in a way that maybe makes more sense.
Ja, weil die Scheren waren ja nicht da.
There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Zwei? Das zweite. There's one clear difference between the murderers. In the photo from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference. Victim's fatal injury, the style of the blood, fatal injury.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way.
Ja, mit Scheren.
According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right, the second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack case, all their other victims were stabbed through their hands. You'll see a clear difference. What was used to suspend her, when she was suspended, how the body was posed, what was used to suspend her.
Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her?
Okay, gut Leute, aber hier muss ich auch wieder die Folge beenden von Danganronpa. Jetzt sehen wir uns hier beim nächsten Mal und ciao.